Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, Penny Prepper. Today's video, we're going to be discussing wildfires, namely the wildfires in Hawaii and Maui. Stay tuned. As I said, we're going to be talking about wildfires, namely the Maui wildfire that just recently occurred. I don't believe that there's anything that me talking about is going to change about the situation. It sounds like a truly awful tragedy where over 100 people have been found to have lost their lives. The death toll is going to go up from here due to the fact that it was such a widespread fire. It happened so quickly. It overtook people in their vehicles, in their homes. It trapped off their escape routes, and truly the only way to identify people at this point has been rapid DNA testing, which is an awful thing to hear. Basically, the fire, the temperature was so intense, it was able to melt metal. So imagine what that did to the human body. A lot of these people are unidentifiable. So it truly is a great tragedy. And the only thing that we can really do is learn from it. Not that there was a whole lot that could have been done, but I'm going to get into that here in a second. So like I said, I'm not here to quarterback it. From the sounds of it, they said that one of the things to blame was an early alert system that was not activated, which was a siren system, which would have been an audible signal for people to evacuate. I don't know if it would have been tied in with, I'm sure that they have an earthquake and tsunami system. However, basically with that, even if they would have activated it, I heard that a lot of people were overtaken by the flames and the conditions in their vehicles trying to escape due to a bottleneck or a backlog of vehicles. So if they had activated that early siren system, would it have made a difference? Could it have possibly made more victims? Some of the people that survived actually had left their homes and went to the water because the one coastal town actually had a beach right nearby. A lot of the people actually evacuated to the beach and went into the water due to the intense heat of the flames and the smoke. So that's what ended up saving them. If they had tried to evacuate in their vehicles, they would have met the same fate as everybody else on the roadway in those bottlenecks. So really, would it have made that much of a difference? I can't say. I wasn't there, and I'm not the one that's investigating this. However, could it have saved a couple lives? Yes, of course it could have. Having more people evacuated to the beach, could that have saved lives? Yes, it most definitely could have. But I'm not here to really be the one to determine that. Now, what is the one thing that 100% could have saved lives? Well, I would have to say that would be if they had a wildlife management resource that would have been able to prevent or manage the terrain around the town. That may have helped out, maybe reduce the threat of drought on the island. But again, these are things that you only think about after the fact. Nobody thinks about these types of things before, or basically, who am I to say what practices would have for sure worked out? It very well could have helped. However, preventing drought is very hard. It's not a surefire way to prevent it. So again, when we look at these tragedies, the only thing that we can do is learn. Probably preventing the wildfire from happening, which is a natural thing to begin with. And also maybe early warning. These people who had, maybe if they had thought, oh, hey, there is a wildfire going on, maybe I'll evacuate before the roads get clogged up or before it comes anywhere near my town where other people start to get the inclination, oh, I'm gonna leave as well. If they had left prior to the bottleneck or prior to these traffic jams, that I'm sure there's people that left early enough that it saved them. They were the people who probably grabbed their tsunami or hurricane bag or whatever bag that they had ready. And they said, well, you know, we're going to load up the dogs, we're going to load up the kids, grab our stuff and get out before we even have to worry about it. Truly, emergency services are going to be so tied up trying to save people first and then possibly structures that they're not going to have time to sit on your house and make sure that it doesn't burn down. And your water hose, first of all, I've seen videos of people spraying their house down with a water hose. It's not going to do much for a wildfire, especially this big and this intense. You're just prolonging the inevitable by a couple seconds. It's better to just leave and let your insurance take over from there. You can replace your home, but you can't replace yourself or your loved ones. So the best thing in this situation, get out, try to leave early. And if you can't leave early and you end up getting stuck, like the people that went to the water, that is what saved their lives. Some of the people that stayed in their homes, unfortunately, they had succumbed to these fires. So really, that's what you need to do. You need to come up with an escape route. If you can't, you can try to stay there. And then if it becomes untenable, you need to come up with another option to get out. Now, wildfires can't just happen in Hawaii. They can happen just about anywhere. Pennsylvania, the word Pennsylvania literally means Penn's Woods for William Penn, who founded the state. So imagine we are completely surrounded by trees here, not too far from the Appalachian Mountains. So it can happen here. It's just a matter of if the conditions are right or wrong. So another thing I wanted to bring up real quick is sweeping fires can happen in the city as well. Great examples of this are what occurred in places like Chicago, what has happened in London multiple times, where multiple rows of homes which are attached in the inner city will start to catch on fire. Yes, we have fire departments now that can typically get to places quickly and put out these fires, but if a fire gets so big, eventually it will not be contained, and in a place like a city, it will begin to consume everything just like a wildfire would. So it's something you need to consider even in the city is, are you attached to a row of homes, a row home? It could easily, that's why I don't like living in houses like that, because you may be as safe as possible and have a fire extinguisher and be fully prepared. But if your neighbor is some idiot who, let's say, falls asleep with a cigarette in his mouth, burns up his bed with him in it, it could easily ruin your plans and destroy your home just as easily. That's all we have for today's video. If there's anything you would like to see me cover in the upcoming videos, please comment, share, let me know. Stay safe, stay prepared.